Josh, it is the final week of the season, and the stakes are weirdly a little massive at this point. The Patriots already own the division. They're back. It sucks. Everybody knows it. Nobody's happy about it, but everybody loves Drake May. The Dolphins, on the other hand, we're out of contention, but we're fighting for answers. There's a lot of jobs on the line. There's a lot of narratives that might hinge on how this game looks. Will the coaches keep their jobs? Will Quinn yours be your back next year? There's so many questions that need to be answered, and I think this game is the one that's going to answer a lot of those questions. Welcome back to the 305 Gridiron, ladies and gentlemen. As always, before we dive into this preview show of the Miami Dolphins at the New England Patriots, pause the video, go down to the comments, and give us three things. Forgetting what the three things are, Josh. Give us your X factor. Who has the biggest impact on this game? Give us the bold prediction. What is something that is unlikely to happen, but you think could happen? It would be really awesome if it did.
Make it bold.
And then for this one, give us two different final scores. Your final score if the Patriots play their backups. The final score if the Patriots play their starters.
It's a vastly different scores.
Because that's what we're going to be doing tonight. We are recording a little bit early in the week. We don't know the answer to that question yet. Because New Year's is on our normal recording day, and Josh and I do have lives outside of the show.
Yes, we do.
That may surprise a few of you. It surprises me
that actually want to spend time with us.
Right. Not many of them, but there are some. There are some. All right, Josh, how you doing tonight, dude? You ready to talk Patriots Dolphins to end the season?
Yeah, I am. I can't believe the season's already over, man. I feel like we just started this podcast, which was before the season even started.
Yeah. Our first episode was the Bears preseason game.
Yep. And it just feels like I blinked. And it's like, all right, year's over. Talking about the Patriots being top of the division. It's like we went back in time.
It's nuts. And we're going to do a recap show after this just to, fill you guys in a little bit. But between like our live recorded shows, we don't have that many, but as you've probably noticed, if you're a fan of the show or if you watch any level of content here, we turn all of our live shows into multiple smaller shows. So I think in total we have like nearly 300 videos at this point, which is just mind-blowing to think about.
Crazy. And for those of you that are also new, or those of you that are regulars and just weren't paying attention or forgot, we do not end in the offseason. We are a year-round Miami Dolphins fan show made by fans for the fans. So, make sure to continue to join us. We love when you guys join us live. We will be doing a number of live shows. We will have an entire show dedicated to explaining how the offseason is going to go for us. So you guys, the expectations are set. So, when you can find us live and when you can find recordings and so on and so forth.
Yeah, best laid plans. We really thought we've had our schedule really well laid out this year, and then there's been a few moments where we dropped the ball. Yeah. So we're trying to get better at it. And we will let you know. Yeah, we'll let you know to the best of our ability when we're going live versus when we're recording, and when you can expect those recorded shows to hit the channel. For now, though, we're talking Miami Dolphins at New England Patriots to end the season. Josh, at the beginning of this year, if you asked me what this game was going to look like, you did ask me what this game was going to look like. I assumed it was two teams fighting to finish above 500. Mm-hmm. Here we are, the end of the 2025 season. The New England Patriots are freaking 13-3.
It's disgusting, dude.
I have no idea how they turned it around so quickly. They're playing amazing football, and Miami is once again eliminated from playoff contention before December even hits. So
it feels like 2000 and when was last time Brady was there?
It feels like Brady's entire career all over again.
great. Hey, we laugh so we don't cry, folks. All right.
If we cried every time the Dolphins did something bad, we would never stop crying.
Exactly.
So I guess let's get into the first storyline of the night. Is right there. Do the Patriots actually play their starters? They are playing for the number 1 seed. The Broncos are 13-3. The Patriots are 13-3. I do not know what all of the rules and finishing situation is for the Patriots to possibly lock up that number 1 seed. I don't really care. For now, I'm thinking, hey, do the Patriots actually play their starters, or do they play their backups, and how big of a difference does that make for you?
I mean, that's a huge difference. I mean, that's the difference between losing and winning, in my opinion. And even that's a little close. I think it depends. I know I shouldn't say I know. I'm pretty sure Denver is playing Justin Herbert and the Chargers. If I'm not mistaken, I believe Herbert is benched for the playoffs, or due to injury or something like that. So I'm not really sure. I mean, Denver currently is leading that race for the number 1 seed. I believe New England has to win and they have to lose for New England to get the 1 seed. So who knows? I also don't know when Denver plays versus when we play New England, because if Denver plays ahead of us and they win, it doesn't matter what the Patriots do. So they could be going into the day with all intentions of starting their starters. Denver wins somehow, and New England decides last minute to sit all their starters because they have the number 2 seed locked up. So it'll be really interesting. But either way, I mean, that puts Miami kind of in a weird spot, right? I think you would agree.
Yeah.
How do you think the Dolphins should approach knowing New England can kind of flip the script? I mean, it's kind of hard to prep when you don't really know what's happened, but I mean, what do you think?
Yeah, I think there's really only one way to approach this for us, and it's to approach it with ourselves in mind and not really worry so much about what the Patriots are going to do. You and I have talked ad nauseum at this point about how we're in evaluation mode. To me and you, we've been in evaluation mode since the middle of the season. Because it just didn't really have a lot of confidence that this team was going to go anywhere. And then, of course, we go on the run against whatever. So in this game, you just prep for hard-nosed football, because that's what you're going to get no matter who is in the game, right? Their backup running back is freaking Ramondre Stevenson. It was a starter last year. So you kind of know what you're going to get there. The backup quarterback is Joshua Dobbs, who is not the greatest quarterback of all time, but he has won some damn games, right? So I think the only way to really go into this for Miami is to go into this focusing on what are we going to do as a team? What is our focus going to be? Whether that focus is running the ball, passing the ball. Are we going to be aggressive on defense, conservative on defense? What players do we want to see more of, right? That we don't feel like we've seen enough of. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the fact that I'm sure Mike McDaniel's feeling a little pressure there. I think, he knows that his job is not safe. And that a win against a division rival Patriots would come a long way on him keeping his job, regardless of if they played starters or not. To the owners, they don't care. They see a win against the Patriots on the schedule, and that's a win against the Patriots.
No context.
Right. Yeah. If the Dolphins were to come out and beat the Patriots starters, I think that's a significant boon for McDaniel. And I know we're going to talk more about the coaches in a little bit, but what are kind of your thoughts on, do you think they should have a different strategy depending on who's playing, or do you think it's just kind of YOLO, let's go?
Well, see, I don't know, because the fan of me is like, I mean, no, you should be anticipating that you're playing their best players, right? Because every team wants to win. But the reality is they have a lot more riding on potential game injuries.
Yeah.
I mean, they are legit Super Bowl contenders, and it tastes like vinegar to say that out loud. But they are. I mean, go watch the season, right? I mean, I understand it, and my argument to both of a lot of the I shouldn't say both, but a lot of the Patriot fans that I know is that they've had a cupcake schedule. They've played, if you go through the list of the quarterbacks, that they've played, it's been very uninspired from a from a naming standpoint, and I'm trying to filibuster while I pull up the names. So here's who they've played all year: Tyler Huntley, Tua, who's benched, Spencer Rattler, who's benched, Bryce Young, Cam Ward, Dylan Gabriel, who's benched, Michael Penix, Justin Fields, who's benched, Jackson Dart, Joe Flacco, who's a backup, Baker Mayfield, and Josh Allen. So I mean, okay, are they won 13 games? Sure. Have they played the hardest schedule? They have the third easiest schedule because they were so bad last year. Right. However, you can only play the players that are on the field, and you can only play the people on your schedule. So they've taken care of business, and they look pretty good. Yeah. So I would, if I was Miami, be going into it assuming that I'm playing the starters and hoping to God that I'm not, so that we can hopefully eke out a win.
Yeah. And I mean, they're in an interesting predicament, right? Because right now, I think as it stands right now, they're playing the Bills for a third time
in the playoffs.
In the playoffs, yeah.
Yeah, they split right this year.
Yeah,
they split with them.
So, but like right now, the Patriots are the 2 seed, the Bills are the 7 seed, so they would play each other in the wild card round. Which, if you're the Patriots, I feel like you would much rather see the Texans or the Chargers than the division rival Bills for a third time. Of course, they don't have any control of that, so that doesn't really change whether or not. I mean, it will. If, to your point, the Chargers do not end up benching their players, and the Broncos do have to play against the starters, I think it's much more likely the Patriots play their starters because they want that number 1 overall pick.
Of course.
They want that bye. And this, I think the stats people in the last game I was watching said that this is like the first time in a really long time that the number 1 seeds have not been locked up by the final week in the season.
It's been a hell of a weird year.
Yeah. So I believe the number 1 seed on both sides, NFC and AFC, is still up in the air, which is kind of crazy. And I kind of hope the Chargers don't bench people because, like, let's see it play out, right? Like,
Justin Herbert's he's definitely benched. That was announced earlier this morning.
See, that's annoying. Yeah. That's annoying because we're not going to get the Week 18 that they meant for us to get.
No,
and
I don't know if it's due to injury. Like he might have a nagging injury. I don't remember. I didn't read the article.
So I guess the short answer is we have no friggin' clue. No clue. I think that they might because Vrabel is a
psychopath.
Vrabel wants to win every game.
He does. Oh, you lost your mic, buddy. I think what you were trying to say is, while you figure it out, is Vrabel is just determined to win every game. And are you back?
I think I'm back. Yeah,
you're back.
Let's stop playing with the cord on the microphone. Idiot. I was just saying that he's an old school style of guy. He wants to win no matter what. He doesn't want to bench his guys. He doesn't want to put it up to chance or whatever it is. Now, some of us are going to disagree with that take because, like you said, injuries, yada yada yada. But I think there's a good chance they play the starters.
Yeah, absolutely.
Leads me into storyline number 4. Will the Dolphins lean more on the pass or on the run? We've talked a lot down the stretch, Josh, about the Miami trying to find an identity, right? We've been running six linemen out there. Now we got Quinn Ewers playing out there. So does this game actually tell us if the identity is real or if we have an identity, or is it just more, kind of evaluation mode stuff for a variety of guys?
It's again, and I don't mean to be repetitive, but it's tough, right? Because I think having Ewers in there changes a lot of things. What this team has looked night and day, and I'm not saying that Ewers is some magical mythical beast who's going to be a 10-year starter for Miami, not at all. But I'm just saying Tua was that bad that a 7th round rookie makes this team look exponentially better. Ewers has looked very calm in his last 2 games, very composed, very poised. Doesn't get down on himself, doesn't get too high, doesn't get too low. And Mike McDaniel has done a seemingly very good job outside of the occasional mind blip that he always has where he decides I'm going to pass it behind the line of scrimmage in the red zone.
Gotta love the mind blips.
Yeah, the mind blips. He's called a very concise game plan, which we're going to run the ball to set up the pass. We're going to do play action. Now that we have a quarterback with an arm, and we're going to throw it deep, and we're going to rinse, wash, and repeat until they stop it. And then once they stop that, we're going to go play action to the tight ends. And once they stop that, we're going to just run the ball. And it's been very consistent. It's been kind of almost 50-50 to an extent.
Yeah.
But I also don't know if it matters because, you and I both agree. And I believe a lot of Dolphins fans would agree with us that this is probably the last time we see a lot of this coaching staff.
Probably.
So does it matter? No. What do I think we'll see? I think we'll see a very heavy run game with peppered passes down the field in by Quinn Ewers, very similarly to what we saw in the Tampa Bay game. The unfortunate part of this is that we have a rookie quarterback, a coaching staff whose seat is like 7th level of hell hot, if you will.
Can't sit in that thing.
Nope. And we're going against a really disciplined team.
Yeah.
Right. So I guess from an identity standpoint, what are you looking for early?
I'm looking for balance. I'm looking for balance. Since Quinn Ewers has taken over, the split has been 50-50. And even in the lopsided game against Cincinnati, we still stuck to a 50-50 split between the run and the pass. So, I'm looking to see if they maintain the split that we obviously now know is what Mike wants. And our assumption that earlier in the year Mike was running the ball 40 times a game to avoid giving it to Tua is obviously correct.
Yeah.
So I'm looking not only at that though, I'm also looking at penalties, dumb plays, blown assignments. We saw a few against Tampa that almost gave up the game.
Yeah.
Tampa gets the ball with just a few minutes left, and I think it was a linebacker in a corner. I don't know which ones. They both saw Godwin and both ran away from Godwin, who then proceeded to catch the ball for a 59-yard strike. And the announcer is just baffled. He's like, there's one thing you needed to do as a defense in this situation. Don't let up a big play. And on the first play, they let up a big play. So that's exactly what I'm looking for. And these are exactly the type of things that ownership or whoever is making the decision as to whether or not they're going to keep the staff is looking at, right? Like, is the team playing disciplined ball? And the fact that those mistakes are still happening at the final game or second to last game of year 4 of this coaching staff is incredible. Those things aren't happening on the Patriots team that's in their 18th game of year 1. And they're still happening on the 18th game of year 4 for Mike McDaniel's team. And those are the things that I'm forever on the lookout for, because when they inevitably make the decision, if the decision doesn't go the way that we're hoping it goes, I'm going to be baffled and looking at these things over and over again like it's a nightmare in my head that will not stop.
Yeah.
These things happened for 4 straight years and they decided to keep him. That will be what's in my mind. And that's what I'm always looking for when it comes to this team.
I mean, that's a perfect transition into number 3.
3.
Right? I mean, like, you couldn't have teed it up better for yourself.
I didn't even realize this was number 3. Our coaching jobs dependent on the outcome of this game is storyline number 3 for the Miami Dolphins' final matchup of the season against the New England Patriots. Miami playing to avoid the double-digit loss column. So, Josh, win or lose, it's not going to change the standings for us, but it might matter behind the scenes. How much do you think this game affects the coaching evaluation that is about to take place?
Okay, so I have 2 answers for you. I have the fans' answer, and then I have, unfortunately, what I think is going to, like, what the front office, what the owner and his constituents are going to think. Because I do think ending the season on a win, and it would be 2 wins in a row, is a feather in the hat, for lack of a better term, right? It's a winning on a high note, if you will, from my perspective and from a fan's perspective. And obviously I'm speaking for folks that I don't know. So maybe I'm in the minority with this comment, but I think it shouldn't matter. I think Mike McDaniel needs to be gone. I think Weaver, for as much as he's done very well for this team, he's done very bad for this team.
Yeah.
And I think, we need to clean house. I don't care. I mean, there are some good pieces to keep from a coaching staff, but I don't know if it's worth keeping because we need to clean house. We need a new GM first. That GM needs to hire his head coach. That head coach needs to hire his staff. We need to reformat our cap situation, which we are not in this horrible situation. There's a lot of things that need to happen. And I hope, I guess is the better way of saying this. I hope that a two wins to end the season doesn't take away from the clear and evident black eyes that this coaching staff has. From a Ross standpoint, I unfortunately do think it will make a slight difference. Maybe that means Ross vies for Mike McDaniel to the new GM, but ultimately it's a GM. I don't think he would force a coach on a new GM because I don't think a GM would take the job. But I think, so we'll see. But I guess, what would worry you most if the game starts going sideways? Because that's what I'm curious about, right? I mean, you're talking about a coaching staff that clearly knows they're on the hot seat, that clearly knows there are a lot of decisions that are going to be made, a lot of jobs that are going to be lost or kept, I guess, in some cases, depending on how this game goes. But if this game starts going tits up, I mean, what worries you?
I mean, what worries me is stupidity, right?
Yeah.
Leaving guys out there who don't need to be left out there anymore, right? Let them end the season healthy, right? If it's a Cincinnati Bengals situation where you can tell, okay, we're losing this one 45-20. Why are you leaving guys like Waddle, who's oft injured, out there, or Sealer, or enter veteran name here, right?
Even some of the young guys that are your foundational pieces, take them
out.
Yeah.
Right. Like, take them out. That's my biggest concern. It's like, cool, if you want to start calling trick plays and doing a bunch of nonsense, who gives a shit? But don't leave guys out there who have another season coming with potentially a new staff and are core members of this team to get hurt,
It's a really great call out.
One last thing on this before we move on is my biggest thing with this coaching situation is let the goddamn GM decide. Stephen Ross and his contingent should not be up in the room saying to themselves, hey, I wonder if we should keep Mike and the staff this year. They should be up in the room deciding, hey, who's our next GM so that we can ask them if they want to keep Mike and the staff next year. Like, to your point, if the owner has any sort of say where he is thinking, okay, new GM, welcome to the team, but you have to keep Mike, that's too much involvement.
Way too much.
Right? Like, the GM should be able to come in and here's what I would like to see happen. You decide you hire your GM. You say, okay, you're the guy. Before you even announce it to anybody that he's the guy, do you want to keep Mike? If he says no, you fire Mike before you hire him. Don't let his first order of business be coming in and firing the whole staff.
Yeah.
That doesn't set a good precedent.
But on the flip side, let's play devil's advocate to that point, because I do happen to agree with you, but let's just play devil's advocate.
Sure.
Do you think that actually letting the GM set the precedent that these are our standards, I am not going to accept anything other than this. You guys did not meet this. You're by. My first act is I am cleaning house because you have not met the standards of this organization for 4 years. You need to go. Do you think that actually helps the GM kind of entrench himself with both the fan base and the next staff that comes in with, oh shit, there's accountability now. This is no longer the South Beach Fun Dolphins.
I think it's a different question externally and internally. I think internally they can shape the message however they want, right? Externally, it depends on what the Dolphins want the media to think. Do the Dolphins want the media to think that Ross has full control and he said to himself, yeah, if I'm going to bring in a new GM, I need to get rid of the old staff? Like, who do they want to look good in this situation would be, fair. My response to that. Like, do they want the GM to come in and look like a hard ass who knows what he's doing and is making changes right off the bat? Or do they want Stephen Ross to make it look like he knows what he's doing? And he's like, all of these stories about me wanting to keep this coach, even though he doesn't deserve to be kept, are just bullshit. We won't know until it happens.
I will say this. I think if Ross is the one to make the fire, I think it buys him a lot of good grace with the fan base.
I would agree. Me and you started this season hotter than hotter on Stephen Ross. We love Stephen Ross. He could do nothing wrong.
I still do. I think he's made some mistakes, obviously, but I am still a fan of Russ.
At this point, I am losing my patience quickly with him.
Yeah.
The half-assed measures, only firing the GM or only firing the coach, I'm done with, man. I'm done. Like, and Brandon Shore's been great, to your point about the cap earlier. Brandon Shore's done a good job keeping that cap in order. Yeah. So I'm okay with him staying, because I know there's been some chatter, some fans out there not a fan of him staying.
Brandon Shore?
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't heard that. I'm all for him. I think he's done wonders with the shit sandwich that he was
given. Because it's the same thing that we're saying now. They think it's a half measure.
Yeah. Fair.
You're not getting rid of everybody. You're forcing this guy on the GM, which he's just a cap expert, guys. He's a numbers guy. He's a finance nerd. There's nothing. He's not making any football decisions.
Zero. He's not even making cap decisions. He's more just putting spreadsheets together. So, and I'm obviously oversimplifying his job, right? Yeah. But he's essentially putting spreadsheets together, saying, "Hey guys, here are the moves you can make, and here are the consequences thereof."
If you've ever seen Draft Day, he plays the role of Jennifer Garner in that movie.
Very much.
The GM says, "Hey, can we make this work?" And Brandon goes, "Yes or no."
Or let me see if I can fix it.
Let me see if I can make it work. Yeah, right. Yeah. Let's move into number 2, my friend. Number 2 storyline of Miami Dolphins at New England Patriots to wrap up the season. How does Quinn Ewers look against a top AFC team? Not just AFC East at that. His first taste of a division rivalry as the starting quarterback. All eyes are going to be on him, Josh. What does a good Quinn Ewers game look like to you against the New England Patriots?
I mean, honestly, I think it's just that one. I mean, to use a line from the podcast, 1% better. Right. Because, again, this game doesn't matter. Right. This is a AFC East game. So if they're playing their water boys against us, it's going to be a hard-nosed game regardless, because even if you think back to when we were 1 in whatever, right, with Cleo Lemon and all of those horrible 2 decades that we were, right? Yeah. Every time we played the Super Bowl, the perennial Super Bowl champs with Brady, we played them hard. We might have lost, but we played them hard. Yeah. And so, backups, no backups, starters against starters, it doesn't matter. We play each other. We're going to play each other very hard. And I want to your point, I'm very curious to see how Quinn adapts. Yep. The continued evolution of him as a quarterback in the NFL against a division rival, because it is a whole different beast. Yeah. And I like what, we've said it plenty of times. We said it last week on both the preview and the recap for the Bucs game earlier this week, I guess, really for the recap. Quinn has looked good. Yeah. I mean, solid number 2 quarterback in the NFL, maybe a fill-in starter for a team that's rebuilding, who knows, but he's shown some really good things. A lot of things Tua can't do, he can do. And I'll be real curious to see how he kind of digests what the Patriots do, because for all the shit that I give my friends for being Patriots fans, just because I'm a Dolphins fan, for their cupcake schedule and that they've played nothing but backups and all this other stuff. Yeah. They're a fucking good team. They are well coached. They are disciplined. Their defense is scary. Their offense can be scary. Is scary. I mean, I think they're top 3 in both categories. And I think they're 1 and 2 in both of them at some point. I mean, so they're a solid team. And I just want to see control. I don't want to see flash. I don't want to see weird drawn up trick plays. I just want to see control and discipline. Yeah. Anthony, though, question for you. How patient do you think Miami stays if the big plays aren't there early? Because we do know, we've seen it in the last 2 games, with Ewers having a cannon and him being a lot more calm in the pocket and progressing through his reads and leaning on the run game to set up the pass and the play action. We have taken shots early and often. Yeah. If those aren't there, I mean, what happens?
Yeah, I think they're going to maintain it. I think it's going to be very similar to the Tampa game. I think they're going to, Mike is going to tell Quinn to let it fly. And for Quinn, what do you got to lose? You're a 7th-round rookie who's getting a rare chance. 7th-round rookies barely get practice time, let alone a time to play in a game, and this will be his 3rd start in a row. So for him, the there's nothing to lose unless he goes out there and doesn't try, like, to make big plays. Like, that's how you keep your job. Don't make mistakes, make some big plays, show that you can run the offense effectively, and that's what they need to continue to do with him in this game. Let him sling it. He's going to throw picks when he tries that. He probably should have thrown some picks against Tampa, but like, he's by doing that, there's different effects, right? It's a cause and effect thing. By throwing it deep, you open up the run game, you open up the underneath passes, you open up the screen plays that Mike loves to run, right? So him throwing it deep, even if he makes a mistake, to me is only going to make our offense better.
Yeah.
It's only going to build confidence for him if he can complete some of them too.
True. Very true. Do you buy into the fact that, ending on a high note means anything for a player? I'm not talking about the coaching staff and what happens with that, but like from a Quinn Ewers standpoint, ending the season on a win versus a loss, do you think that there's anything in there from a mental state? Because I don't. I think there's so much time between the last game of the season and the first game of the next season. But do you think there's anything to it?
Yeah, I think there's a ton to it, actually. Ironically enough, we don't agree on one thing. We agree on everything, but this one, I think, if you've ever played backyard ball yourself, right, just go and play a game, like, you feel so much better if you played well. It doesn't necessarily need to be a win. If you just played well, you feel so much better going home after that than you do if you sucked and you do nothing but think about it, right? Think about that. If he sucks in this game, he has to now sit there and fester for 8 months thinking about how he sucked in that game.
Well, my rebuttal would be, if he's doing that, then he's not the guy.
He had a chance. They all do it. I'm telling you, I know that they're mentally tough, and I know that they're on a completely other level from us. I'm not comparing them to us. Trust me. But
they are not normal people.
But they are normal in the sense that we all deal with the same mental challenges, regardless of our physical appearance and our physical abilities and all that stuff. We all have the same mental challenges that we have to deal with on a day-to-day. And if he is really good at compartmentalizing it and really good at getting over it, and to your point, like, he shouldn't be festering on that. But we've even seen Patrick Mahomes fester on losses, man. Like, even the best of the best let it get to them at times. And I just don't want the 7th round rookie to play poorly and have to have the possibility to sit there and let that fester over the next 8 months, because then we're not getting an effective guy come August when it's time for him to strap up and get back out there and see what he's got.
I like it. Makes sense.
Let's move into our last storyline for this game. Miami Dolphins at New England Patriots. Final game of the 2025-2026 season. Pride, tone, and the Miami Dolphins final statement, Josh, it goes without saying that this has been an enormously up and down season. We went from a 1-6 start where we were unequivocally one of the worst teams in the league. It was painful for us to even watch the game so that we could do this show.
That's a very accurate statement. Yes.
And then we fire off 6 of 7 wins or something like that, and all of a sudden we're feeling pretty damn good about ourselves again, even though the teams we faced were shit. And then Pittsburgh puts us back in our place on Monday night. We get raffle stomped by the Bengals, and then we sneak a win against the Bucks. To say it's been up and down is absolutely an understatement. This is the last time we are going to see this version of the Dolphins, potentially the last time we're going to see the Mike McDaniel Dolphins. How much does tone and effort matter in a game like this? And what are you looking at? From what are you carrying over to next season?
Yeah, I think it matters more than the score does, if I'm being honest. Right? Look, win, loss, whatever, draw, tie, who knows? Right? Sure. Wouldn't that be a fucking Dolphins thing?
That'd be hilarious. Now I'm rooting for a tie.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. But I do think it matters a lot more than the score. Right? The effort, the tone, what the Dolphins do, because again, dead horse meets stick. We are in evaluation mode, right? And we are evaluating, we being the Miami Dolphins front office, right? Should be, hopefully, for the love of God, I hope they are evaluating who are the foundational pieces, who are the young guys that we are going to re-sign, who are we giving a contract to, who are we renegotiating with, who are we re-upping, who are we not re-upping, who are we trading? Excuse me. And so there's a lot that goes into that. And the game play on the play on the field rather is what is the biggest indicator of who's staying and who's going, at least in my opinion, from an evaluation standpoint. And so what you want to see is you want to see these guys fight with nothing on the line. We get it. Nothing but pride, right? Yeah. Let's fight our asses off to prevent a division rival from getting the number 1 seed in the AFC for the playoffs. Let's make the final act of this iteration of this 4-year iteration of the Miami Dolphins. The final act is to screw over the Patriots. Like, how fitting is that? Right.
Amazing.
It's amazing. I think it just, the emotional tone of this game carries into the offseason, and it carries into quite a lot of heavy decisions and choices that need to be made, and new directions that are going to be, sought after, new teammates that are going to be coming, current teammates that are going to be leaving, hopefully a whole new coaching staff, and a new GM and a new draft class, and so much stuff that you just, to your point, you want to see this team fight. You want to see this team do what they need to do on the field. I guess what I'd be curious from your point of view, what tells you this team is finishing the season the right way? Like, what are you looking for to say, okay, win, lose, draw, whatever the case, take the win and loss out of the equation.
Yeah.
What are you looking for to say, okay, you know what? They understood it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking for 60 minutes of ball from everybody on the field, right? I mean, I'm not looking for guys quitting on plays. I'm looking for guys trying and making big plays, putting in 100% effort. Up to the last snap, even if we're getting blown out, which I understand, man. I used to play sports. You used to play sports. Like, it's incredibly difficult to keep your head in the game when you're getting absolutely destroyed. But that's the guys I'm looking at, right? And we should see a lot of that because we got all of our young guys playing, and they're all hungry. A lot of them are fighting for jobs. We got 5th, 6th, 7th round picks. We're not guaranteed anything next year. There's for picks that late in the draft, they don't have any guarantees in their contract. So, like, it's very easy to just let them go at the end of the season if they weren't what we thought they were. So I think I know for 100% confidence that I am just looking at effort through and through. Who is putting in the effort? Who is sticking with the effort for the entire 60 minutes?
This wasn't anything that we had queued up on our sheet, right? And that we talked about pre-show. Where do you sit with this game? Doesn't matter. And I know we kind of touched on it earlier. Put in all of your backups and all your young guys. Fuck it. If they win, great. If they lose, okay, who cares? Yeah. Sit all of your starters, all of your perceived foundational players. Let's not risk injury going into because an ACL can happen at any point, an Achilles. Where do you sit with that? I mean, because look, is there anything to play for? Pride, evaluation.
Yeah.
Not allowing the Patriots to have the bye week in week 1 of the playoffs. There's some things there that matter, but there's also, to your point earlier, a risk versus reward kind of thing, right?
I am on the let's play because let's look at the last few seasons under McDaniel. We have played a division rival at the end of the season every single year that McDaniel has been the coach. We have absolutely not shown up in all 3 of those games.
Every single one of them
got obliterated in all 3 of them, including the Jets last year, right?
Oh, that's right. That was the one where fucking Rodgers went off for like 480 yards or something like that. Yeah,
I want to see the goddamn team treat this like it's a division rivalry game. That it is a division rivalry game. I don't care that the Patriots are already locked into a playoff spot. I don't care that they're 13-3 and we're 7-9. It is a division rival. You play the shit out of them until they bleed or until they cry or until they put their tail between their legs and go crawling home. I want to see the dog in this team that we have not seen to finish the season the last 3 years. So unequivocally, I want the starters in there because I need to see who is actually a dog and who's on their way out.
Yeah, and I'm right there with you. Right, I think we are in full evaluation mode. I want to see every single person that we feel is going to be on this team next year, or players that we might like Brooks. I want to give Brooks a contract extension. Achane, I want to give Achane a contract extension. Brewer, I want to give Brewer a contract extension. I need to see these guys.
Right. Those guys especially, they're playing for a new GM. They're playing for a guy who has the power to give them lots of money.
Tons. Yeah.
And I think Atan's pretty much locked it up already. I think Brooks is well on his way. Brewer's position is harder to evaluate, and prove, but and even so, I still think if we are truly going to eat to his contract, then I think there's no contract that's untouchable at this point on this team. And if they're going to eat that contract, maybe they're willing to eat some other ones because they don't think you're a good fit into the future.
And some are going to have to be eaten so that we can absorb the albatross contract that is Tua Tagovailoa's contract.
I mean, we know for a fact that Tyreek's gone, unless like his biggest fan becomes our new GM or something.
There's no way financially we can keep him, so he's gone. That's
I mean, if we kept him, it would be under a new contract. And I don't think he wants a new contract with us.
No, it's $38 million in savings by cutting him. It's another 21-ish by cutting Bradley Chubb post June 1st. There's another 16 or 18 and cutting Austin Jackson. So, I mean, like there's a substantial amount of money that we need to do, decisions that need to be made.
And to your point, those guys are also fighting for new contracts because $21 million for Chubb can be spread out amongst multiple years if he earns himself a multi-year contract. Do I think that's going to happen? No.
With another team, maybe.
Right. But maybe him and the new staff thinks, oh, he's a really good fit for this position that we want. We would gladly pay him $14 million a year. And then they sign a new 3-year contract and they spread out this $21 million over, right?
Sure.
Right? Like,
Yep.
You and I talked about how fun these contracts are, and if I was to redo my life, I'd probably go into capology because, there's so it's like Tetris. It's like Tetris with money. It's insane. I love it. So let's get into our predictions and our wrap up for this game. I will go through the top 5. Wow, English is hard. Top 5 storylines to watch: Dolphins versus Patriots, final game of the year. Number 5, do the Patriots actually play their starters, or are we looking at a backup situation? Number 4, will the Dolphins lean more on the pass or the run? In the 2 games that Quinn Ewers has played, they've been 50-50, interestingly enough. Number 3, are the coaching jobs dependent on the outcome of this game? We're looking specifically at everyone, because if Mike McDaniel goes, we'd expect that everybody else goes as well, Weaver and so on and so forth. That's the hope, at least. Number 2, how does Quinn Ewers look against a top AFC team? So far, he has faced the Bengals and got walloped, and the Buccaneers and got a surprise win. So how does he look against his first division rival opponent? And number 1, we're playing for pride. We're looking at tone, and we're trying to make a final statement, which the Dolphins have failed to do in each of the last 3 seasons under Mike McDaniel. They have played a division rival in all 3 of those games. They have gotten destroyed in all 3 of those games. Will they show up for this final one, potentially, for Mike McDaniel? So let's get into our predictions and our wrap-up. Earlier on the show, we asked you to pause the show, hit up the comments with your X Factor, your bold prediction, and your final score. Josh and I are now going to give you ours. Josh, who's your X Factor?
Yeah, mine is Quinn Ewers. Again, we don't have a lot to play with or play for, rather. But I'm very interested to see how he handles a division rival, irregardless starters, non-starters. And I think he will dictate how this game goes from a Miami Dolphins standpoint.
I'm going back to our boy we've talked about a ton in this episode, Bradley Chubb. Boy, go out there and make your money, because the more money you make with your next team, the higher the compensation pick we get when they sign you. So I think Bradley Chubb's going to be a huge X factor. He's the only pass rusher on this team that's doing a lick of anything this season. He's I believe he's at 8.5 sacks right now. So get out there, do your thing, Bradley Chubb. And now we'll jump into bold predictions. Josh, how bold are you being this week?
I'm being very bold this week. And in normal cases, your X factor and your bold predictions do not have to match. For those of you that are doing this after
both of ours do today.
They just so happen to have it. So my bold prediction is actually Quinn Ewers has 275 yards, 2 passing touchdowns, and a rushing touchdown.
Wow. 3 touchdowns at 275. I would sign up for that and hope that it would mean that we won the game.
Yes.
Although
not based on my scores.
Yeah. I also stuck with Bradley Chubb for my bold prediction. I think he lands 4 sacks in this game, which means he would have 12.5 on the season, which also means he would break his career record for sacks in a year. He had 12 sacks his rookie season. That's the most sacks he's had in the season since. So if he got 4 sacks in this game, he would break that and probably earn himself a lot of money.
4 sacks, dude.
4 sacks.
You imagine if both of these come true, we're blowing them out.
Well, yeah, it'd be a pretty embarrassing game. It wouldn't match up with our predictions at all.
Not at all.
No.
Speaking of said predictions, as you alluded to earlier, we did break them up to backups and starters. We have two different sets of scores for you guys. Mm-hmm. Anthony, what are your scores?
Yeah, so against the backups, I have a squeaking out a win 20-17. I'm still not enormously confident that our team can come out with a victory over the Patriots, even if their backups are playing, which says a lot about where these two teams are right now. So I have us winning barely 20-17. If New England's playing their starters, unfortunately, I do not believe we stand a chance in this game. I have us losing 31-17, and our tradition of getting blown out by a division opponent in the final week of the season continues for 4 years in a row.
Yes. For me, I also have us winning one and losing one. Backups, I have us squeaking out a win, a 3-point win, 24-21. If they play their starters, I think this is a 13-27 loss.
Both of us have 14-point loss if the starters play.
That was beautiful, right, Josh. Quick math, by the way.
Thank you. All right, buddy. This was the last preview show of the 2025 season. It's been an amazing season. Thank you all who have watched. If you have subscribed to us, you're one of the 117 subscribers that we have at the time of recording. Thank you so much for that. Thank you for all the likes that you've thrown us, the comments that you've thrown us, the chats. You all know who you are, who join us regularly for our live shows. And hey, we're on the lookout for 150 subs by February 11th. We do actually make goals for ourselves. Imagine that. We did hit our last 2 goals. We had a 75 subscribers by the 3-month mark. We hit that. And then we had a fan goal for us, which was 100 subscribers by the end of November. And we just made it December 1st, but November only has 30 days. So that's kind of cheating. So we did get that as well. So now we're looking at 150 subscribers by February 11th. If we do hit this, this will be our biggest giveaway yet. We gave away a hat and some 305 Gridiron swag for the 100 mark. For the 150 mark, we are giving away even more swag. It'll be Miami Dolphins swag and 305 Gridiron swag, so you don't want to miss that. Josh is chomping at the bit to give away some of his money. So please help us get to 150 subscribers by February 11th. And you can do this just by subscribing yourself if you're not subscribed. It is free, and we really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
All right. Big shout out to all of you who have watched this episode. Thank you so much. Thank you for sticking with us this season. We will have more info on what the future of the channel looks like going into the off season. We will still be here. Spoiler alert. We just don't have our schedule really tweaked yet. So we'll get it all tweaked and worked out this weekend. And then we will let you know in our reaction show, which hopefully is a positive reaction show, looking for another Victory Deck Monday. And we will let you know what our schedule is for the offseason. So for Josh, a.k.a. Aqua Ace, to my left, I'm Anthony Pinzone. This has been another episode of the 305 Gridiron. Thank you so much for joining us. And until next time, fins up, baby.